Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Today's video is kind of a novice's guide to buying your first electric guitar. Might even be your first guitar. It might be, you're going to go with an electric guitar right from the off, or you may be coming over to the dark side from the world of acoustic guitar. Welcome. Whichever it is, there is a bewildering array of choice out there for the new electric guitarist, and hopefully the information in this video will help you choose the one that's right for you. The electric guitar industry has been dominated for decades now by designs from two main companies, Fender and Gibson. And whilst not all great electric guitars are made by Fender and Gibson, most of the great electric guitar designs originated with one of those two companies. So I guess the first thing we really need to look at is the electric part of the electric guitar, the pickups. Here's some information on those. Okay then, the very simplest form of guitar pickup consists of a single coil of wire and a magnet. Hence the term, it's a single coil pickup. I'll spare you the physics lecture, but basically what happens here is that it converts the vibrational energy of the strings into an electric current, which goes down your lead into your amplifier. Hey presto, you've got an amplified guitar sound. The only problem with this type of pickup is that it's also very good at picking up electrical noise, usually hum in the form of mains hum. So the solution to this is that we add a second coil of wire wound in the opposite direction to the first one, and what happens is that any interference picked up in the first coil is cancelled out by the interference which is picked up in the second coil, and therefore, because it gets rid of the hum, it's known as a humbucker pickup. And as well as getting rid of the unwanted electrical noise, it also has a rather different sound, as we're going to illustrate right now. Here is what a single coil pickup sounds like. And here's what a humbucking pickup sounds like. So you can hear that hopefully that single coil pickups tend to sound brighter and have certainly a treblier sound, and tend to have a more airy, transparent kind of tone, whilst humbucking pickups tend to have a darker sound, usually with more volume, and they aren't quite as transparent sounding, but they do get rid of that extraneous electrical noise and interference. So you pays your money and you takes your choice. Now, another thing that you often hear electric guitar players talking about is the trem, which is short for tremolo, or more correctly referred to as vibrato, sometimes called a whammy bar, and it's one of these things, this little kind of lever here on this type of guitar. And basically what that does is it allows you to do swoops and wobbles on the sound, a little bit like this. So if that kind of thing is important to you, and you aspire to play like players who use that a lot, for instance, who would be Jeff Beck or David Gilmour from Pink Floyd, lots of players make a big use of that in their style of playing, then you're probably going to need a guitar that has that sort of device on it. So let's now take a look at what I consider to be the four main classic designs of electric guitar. Here they are. Okay, this is a very familiar looking shape, even to people who don't play the guitar. Ask any non-guitarist to draw an electric guitar and chances are the outline that they come up with will bear a resemblance to one of these. This type of instrument is known as an S-type guitar because it's based upon the design of a Fender Stratocaster, which is the one that you can see on the left. The defining characteristics of this style of guitar are that they all have a 25.5-inch scale length. That's the name that we give to the actual vibrating length of the strings. The bodies of these types of guitars are usually made from ash or alder or poplar. The neck is invariably made from maple. The neck and the body are joined together with wood screws or bolts. It's often referred to as a bolt-on neck. The bridge often includes some form of vibrato or tremolo type device, a whammy bar basically, and they invariably have 3 pickups, usually single coil pickups, but also sometimes have a humbucker or 2 thrown in there, and you access those pickups via a 5-position selector switch. So that's the specifications. Let's hear what this type of guitar sounds like. And moving on to the second Fender design that we're going to be looking at here today. This was actually the first guitar that Leo Fender made back in the late 40s, early 50s. This type of guitar is known as the T-type guitar because it bears a strong resemblance to the Fender Telecaster, which once again you can see on the left-hand side of the screen. Once again, the defining characteristics of this style of guitar are that they all have a 25.5-inch scale length. Remember, that's the vibrating length of the string. The body wood, once again, is either ash or alder or poplar, usually. The neck is usually made from maple. And once again, in standard Fender fashion, the neck and body are joined together with wood screws or bolts. And this guitar differs from the Stratocaster in that the bridge is fixed. It doesn't have any kind of tremolo arm or whammy bar or vibrato or anything like that there. It's just a plain and simple fixed bridge. We usually have 2 pickups on this style of guitar, although you do get some with 3, and usually the pickups are single coil in their nature, and they are accessed via a 3-position pickup selector, which gives you either one pickup or the other or both. And here's what this style of guitar sounds like. Okay then, this style of guitar comes from the Gibson camp. It's known as the single cut or LP type guitar because it's based upon the Gibson Les Paul model, which you can see on the left hand side of the screen. Defining characteristics for this style of guitar is that they will invariably have a 24.75-inch scale length, although it has to be said that the guitar in the middle here, the PRS single cut, I believe these days they come with a 24.5-inch scale length. Anyway, the bodywood is usually mahogany with quite often a maple top on it, which adds a little bit of brightness to the sound and also makes it look pretty. The neck wood is invariably mahogany, although you will get some single cut LP type guitars with maple necks. Either way, the neck will be glued into the body rather than using the Fender bolt-on method. The bridge is a fixed bridge, so no tremolo arm, whammy bar kind of thing on this guitar, so if you want one of those then maybe this isn't the guitar for you. The pickups are humbuckers, and there's two of them, controlled or accessed I should say via a three-way pickup selector, which much like the Telecaster T-type design allows you to have one pickup or the other one or both on together. And this is what this style of guitar sounds like. And finally we come to the second Gibson design we're looking at today, the semi-acoustic guitar. These are invariably based upon the Gibson ES335 model, which you can see on the left hand side of the screen there, and their defining characteristics are that, as is pretty much the case for all Gibson guitars, they have a 24.75 inch scale length. The body is usually made from maple, quite often with a mahogany block running down the middle, and either side of that mahogany block you will have hollow chambers. The neckwood is often mahogany but sometimes maple, and in good old Gibson tradition it is glued into the body. Once again, we tend usually to have a fixed bridge, although you do sometimes see these guitars with tremolo arms, usually a retrofitted Bigsby unit. They have two pickups, which once again are humbuckers, and just like the Les Paul model, you will have a 3-position pickup selector. And these guitars sound like this. Now, yes, I know there are at least half a dozen other guitars that I could have mentioned in that clip there, and I didn't. For instance, I bet some people are already screaming at the computer screen saying, "You didn't mention the Gibson SG." Well, no, I didn't, mainly because it doesn't really sound that far different from a Gibson Les Paul. There's certainly, I think, more of a difference between a Gibson Les Paul in terms of sound and the ES335, the semi-acoustic style of guitar. Now, whilst we're on the subject of semi-acoustic guitars, let me just go and grab another one. Here it is, and we're back. Now, this is what a lot of people call a semi-acoustic guitar. It is, as you can see, an acoustic guitar, and it has volume controls and all kinds of tone controls and stuff on the top, and you can plug this into an amplifier. A lot of people mistakenly refer to this style of guitar as a semi-acoustic guitar. It is not a semi-acoustic guitar. This is an electroacoustic guitar, and the whole purpose of a guitar like this is so that you can plug it in to some sort of amplification, usually a PA system or a specialist electroacoustic amp, so that you can get an acoustic guitar sound, not an electric guitar sound, an acoustic guitar sound at high volume levels, big enough to play in a concert venue or something like that. Another use for this would be you could plug it into a mixing desk and record it. But don't think that if you buy one of these that you are going to be able to plug it in and get an electric guitar sound out of it, because you aren't. So this is not the same thing as a semi-acoustic guitar. Okay, so there are the main different types of electric guitar kind of tones and everything that goes with them and what they do. It's up to you now to decide which one is going to be the right one for you. For instance, you get players who love Fender style guitars with single coil pickups who will speak at some length about the beautiful clarity and transparency of the sound that their guitar gives them. Whilst fans of Gibson style guitars and humbucking pickups will be equally as enthusiastic about the warmth and the buttery creaminess of the sound that their guitar gives them, and the sheer balls and volume that it gives them. So, you know, ask yourself, what style of music are you going to be playing? What style of guitar playing are you going to be doing? And, you know, make your choice accordingly. If you're going to be spending a lot of time, I'll just grab an electric guitar. If you're going to be spending a lot of time playing kind of strummy open chords down this end of the neck, then perhaps a Fender style guitar with single coil pickups would be more suited to you. But if you're wanting to play, you know, classic rock, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, or even, you know, kind of something slightly more modern than that, you know, I mean, bands like Avenged Sevenfold and that kind of stuff, rock, metal, that kind of thing, then you're probably going to want something that's got humbucking pickups, something more of a Gibson influenced design. Or, you know, if you want to, you can go for something like this, which is a sort of an evolution of the Strat type guitar, the S-type, where you've got the single coil and the humbucking pickups together. But basically, you'll be making an informed choice. You'll be, you know, choosing your guitar based upon the features that it has rather than what colour it is, or something as arbitrary as that. So there you go. I do hope you found this useful, informative, and maybe even a little bit inspiring. If you have, then please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell and give me a like while you're at it. And I will just round off, as I always do, by saying that if you would like some tailored one-to-one guitar tuition, then give me a shout via the details at the end of this video. If you live on Teesside in the northeast of England, you can come along for a face-to-face lesson, or wherever else you may be in the world, you can have a lesson via Skype. And whichever way you do it, your first lesson is of course free, so what have you got to lose? And with that, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching, and I'll look forward to seeing you all again next time around. Bye for now, folks.